To order, please. Roll call.
Alderman Catalano. Alderman Jacob.
Here.
Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Here.
Alderman Sidmarski.
Here.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley. Alderman Woods.
Here.
Well,
I'm here.
Mayor, please.
All right, declare a quorum present. Please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Need a motion to approve the city council minutes of June 4th,
I'll
2015.
make the motion. Second.
Any questions, corrections, or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? Yes, please. If you could go to the podium. Yes.
I guess I am getting better at the microphone. I take it you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is primarily addressed to Patrick Bond, the attorney, who some time ago, a few months ago, submitted a letter to me indicating, making a case that the existing easements between Iroquois, the backyard easements, between Iroquois and the street that I live on, okay, and that's Cedar Avenue, South Cedar Avenue, that this was private property, not to be available for access to, I guess, the common people. I have done additional research, as well as Mr. Bond has done. My research has gone back to 1958 and 1963, I believe, is the other one. And basically, I'm going to read just very briefly here from what I have read. In the easement provisions that are on record, signed, sealed, and delivered with all stamps and everything, the easement for Commonwealth Edison and the Bell Telephone Company. An easement is hereby reserved for the use of all public utilities, including Illinois Bell Telephone Company and the Commonwealth Edison Company, as shown by the dotted lines on the plats of survey, meaning plats of survey for the developments, not just for the individual houses. Let's see, where was I? As shown by the dotted lines on the plat of easement and marked easement for public utility service, either overhead or underground, for the purpose of serving the subdivision and adjoining property as well, including the right to use the streets where necessary and to overhang all, can't read my writing here, all lots with aerial service uses to serve adjacent lots, to trim and keep the trimmed trees, any trees that interfere with said public utility equipment. No permanent buildings or trees shall be placed on said easements, but said easements may be used for other purposes that do not interfere with the use of the said easements. The same applies to the 1963 Christina Woodlands, which is the property between Murray and Montrose that faces Cedar Avenue. Everything I read in this implies that there is public access to this, and that improvements or any use such as swales would be allowed. And there is the right to said easement area as needed for maintenance. And there don't seem to be any limits on who does the maintenance. So I have copies of these documents, and I have other copies of easement issues dating back, which I have received that apply to both the Iroquois Avenue and the Cedar Avenue. And so I've just read them, and I would like to have them entered. The last thing is that in that letter that Mr. Bond sent explaining why this was not public accessible property, but private property, he ended his letter with several statements having to do, hold on just a moment, please, having to do with complaints that I have made, false and accusatory and criminal statements about various people, particularly, I guess, in local government, and that I am therefore susceptible to being under arrest. I have not done anything. I'm not that stupid to make accusations, criminal accusations, that could never be backed up, okay? But I will say that in that last paragraph with all the accusations, they were simply accusations without foundation. The lawyer is a very educated man and very competent, and I think knows that in order to make a statement like that, it should be included as to whom did I speak, what did I say, how was it presented, who, what, when, where, and how. There was absolutely no clarification of the accusations. They seem to be unsubstantial, and I consider them intimidating. Unfortunately, I do not intimidate very easily, virtually not at all. So be happy to discuss or meet with anybody who would care to see the further documents. They're not measured in pages. They are measured in weight tonnage.
Could you please submit those to the clerk?
I will not do so without going to a lawyer first. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is George Vant. My address is 226 East Murray Drive, Wooddale, Illinois. I live on the southeast corner of Murray and Cedar. I just have a few things that I would just like to say. Number one, I would like to say I'm honored to be a resident of the city of Wooddale. I've been a Wooddale resident for 38 years. My wife wanted to come tonight, but she went to the some gathering downtown today. I don't know what that was all about. Anyway, my issue to the council, to the mayor, to Mr. Bond, we were talking about a tree issue about last fall, about replacing trees. From Cedar going east on Murray, there's 6 homes. There's 3 trees left. 2 of them are marked with a big X. So I guess the village is going to be removing them since they put this huge white X on them. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to leave us with 1 tree. And I would just like it, I would like to have a couple more trees put on, if possible. I just want to touch base for 1 more minute on this flood issue that we had last week sometime. For you that were here during the '86 flood, this was nothing compared to the '86 flood. I got flooded. I have a ranch home, my basement is 60 by 30, and I had a foot of water in it. But I guarantee I'll never flood again with the pump system I put in. But the thing is that I know a lot of my neighbors were complaining about it, but you know what? When it came that fast, so heavy, the sewers just couldn't take it. They just couldn't take it. They weren't clogged, they weren't debris filled. It was just so much water came at one time. What are we supposed to do? You know? A very close personal friend of mine came over today. He lives in Oak Brook. He's got 2.5 acres in Oak Brook. He had 4 inches of water in his family room, which is on the 1st floor. His whole house flooded. So I don't think anybody in Wooddale got that bad. So Oak Brook was in pretty worse shape than we were. But thank you for listening to me. Have a great day.
Thank you. And Matt, you know where I'm sure you probably already have it marked down where the trees are going in that area, right? You can get back to, okay. Do any other residents wish to address the council? Okay. Written communiques, actually I have a couple for the council if we wish to proceed. National League of Cities does a service line warranty to residents. If we'd like to hear the presentation, I know some municipalities have gone to this. Basically, it's an insurance policy for the lateral lines from your house to the city connection that you can purchase at any time. Naturally, the older homes may want to do this. If you guys want to hear the presentation, we can have the gentleman come out from National League of Cities. There is another company called HomeServe, same type of thing. I've never heard of this one per se, but I could have the manager put this letter in the packet tomorrow, just so you guys can read it, and some of this National League of Cities, and decide if we want to hear this presentation. It's basically, if it's for the residents, they would be allowed to purchase insurance for their lateral lines. And that's all I have. I'll give this to you. Just put it back on your desk. Next, on the mayor's report, we have the annexation requesting Wooddale to provide a letter of support to Itasca. We need a motion for this. I would take a pen. Mr. Bond.
Yeah, the city received a letter that the Village of Itasca is asking for their support for the Tollway Authority for property that's on the corporate limits, not within the corporate limits of Itasca, and are asking that it can be transferred as part of the roadway improvement, the 390 project. The property is not currently contiguous to the city of Wooddale. It's one of those sort of a courtesy that the towns are asking, and you'll see this, that may happen to the east of you as well, where they're asking if there's support. IDOT won't do it if there's any objection, or the tollway won't do it if there's an objection by neighboring municipalities. So it's a spirit of good neighbor policy. And it is in the planning area for the Itasca with their utilities and everything. So it was contemplated that would be, if it ever was to go incorporated, it's in the future planning area for the Village of Itasca anyway.
Any question, Alderman Messina?
It said property is north of Thorndale?
Correct. It's north of Thorndale and west of Prospect.
Between Arlington Heights and Prospect, between Arlington Heights and
In
Prospect.
Prospect, right?
You have a follow-up? Alderman Woods.
So there's no way that Wooddale would be able to avail themselves to that property? I mean, I know that we don't have water up there, that's a big consideration, but one of the biggest complaints at Topgolf is parking, so you don't need water in a parking lot. Just ask.
Mr. Murmas.
I suppose if there were no legal restrictions or whatever, and we removed all those barriers, the other barrier that would present itself as the tollways and land use policy for excess land is that a municipality purchases it for market value, okay, and they get a letter of support from the neighboring community. So I would assume if we tell Itasca we're not gonna get them a letter of support, and then we asked for their letter of support from the tollway, we would never get it because we never gave it to them. So that's just one problem.
Alderman Woods, you have a follow-up?
I probably have a dozen, but we'll let it go.
Any other questions? We do need a motion to authorize the letter of support.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Let's do a roll call real quick.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
No.
Okay, Alderman E. Wesley,
No.
Alderman Woods.
No.
Pardon me? Mayor Police?
Yes. All right, that concludes my report. Mr. Murmas, manager's report.
One item, Mr. Mayor. The long-anticipated Wooddale and Irving safety improvements are about to begin. The pre-construction meeting is next week. There will then be an open house for residents who are interested, or businesses who are interested in the construction project. We're focusing on those that are immediately impacted, the businesses in the area and the homes in the area, but all are welcome. And the open house will be at City Hall Thursday, June 25th at 6 p.m. And just as a reminder, there is no committee meeting next week. It's just a open house Thursday, June 25th at 6 p.m. for an overview of the safety improvement project. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Next, we have a consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda. If there's no objections, do we have any objections on any of the items before I ask for a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the items on the agenda. Resolution, item number 1, a resolution to approve an agreement amending intergovernmental agreement regarding plan review and inspection fees. Item number 2, a resolution authorizing a letter of intent to join the DuPage River Salt Creek Workshop on their environmental alternatives to phosphorus limits in the NPDES permit. Item number 3, approve change order number 5 of the Williams Brothers Construction for an extension of their contract dates. Item number 4, approval of final pay request for Swallow Construction for the Ward 2 Phase 1 capital improvement project in the amount of $190,988.25. Item number 5, approval of purchase of a zero-turn mower in the amount not to exceed $12,303.60. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes. Committee chairman reports, planning and zoning, Alderman Messina.
Nothing at this time. No report.
Thank you. Public health and safety,
No report, Mayor.
thank you. Public works, Alderman Sismarski.
Nope, nope, I'm not public.
Oh, wait,
works. I'm not public
sorry,
works.
Alderman Woods.
I was gonna let it roll with it.
I was planning and zoning, but that's okay.
Yeah. Curveball.
I have three reports, Mayor. One is a resolution seeking to approve a temporary easement between the City of Wooddale and 256 Oakwood Drive for the installation of a storm sewer pipe. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Eugene. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, resolution seeking to approve a permanent easement between the City of Wooddale and 256 Oakwood Drive for the installation of a storm sewer pipe. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
One opposition?
Next,
That passes.
approval of change order number 1 with Swallow Construction for the Ward 2 Phase 1 capital improvement project in an amount of minus $192,554.95. That is my motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call on that.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes,
And that passes.
that is the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Finance Administration,
No
Alderman-
report, Mayor.
thank you. Under other business, O'Hare Noise Group,
A couple items. State Bill 636 is currently on the governor's desk. If that is not signed after 60 days, that does become law. Some SOC updates. They had decided that they need more gates, not more runways. They also decided that diagonals should be kept open. In April, the airplane complaints were down due to the easterly winds, so we got a little break that month. And then just reminding everybody to visit our O'Hare Noise Group booth July 30th through August 2nd at the Prairie Fest and National Night Out August 4th.
thank you. Stormwater, Alderman Jacob as well.
No report.
Do you have something? Yes. Alderman Wesley.
Yesterday, I attended a sound installation for residents in Wooddale for O'Hare Field, that they soundproofed your home. The homes, there's some history homes in Wooddale that are being done now in Ward 4. And right now, they have soundproofed total installation, 149 houses, not installed, already enrolled, 85 more houses, and total that are still people that are eligible for this sound installation need to get on board, yes or no, because simple reason is they're only offering one more phase that we could tell from the sound installation committee to soundproof your home. And fortunate, right now, this is the fourth ward that the list is going to. They are looking at opening it further out, but as of right now, according to the soundproofing numbers that they've been getting, it's only for the fourth ward. So there is still 85 homes out there, but you could call, anyone could call and see if your address is on that list, or it could be added to that list even in all the other wards if they want. No, we'll put it on the website. I didn't have it.
That was it on that?
That will be it,
All right.
ma'am.
Thank you. Approval list of bills, June 18th.
I
Alderman
make a
Jacob.
motion to approve the list of bills from June 18th, 2015 for $871,896.20. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Peter.
Alderman Messina?
Pete. All right, we have a motion and a second. Alderman Messina, we have a question.
I guess I had a general question. No particular sequence, check number, but with the advent of technology, I just see so many opportunities between the technology and now you guys, staff having P cards to save money. I talked to Jeff about this. There's Jeff. There's some good opportunity to save some money if we do some comparative shopping. I won't call out any vendors, but I know what I pay for some stuff and what we're paying for some stuff is a huge gap. And I get it, and I know sometimes we need to keep stuff locally where we can, but we also need to push our vendors to be competitive because it's their money. It's our money. It's our taxpayer dollars. So I'm going to push staff to try to save where we can. And if we need to go vendor by vendor, I'm more than happy to do it and help you guys where I can. But I see some good opportunity. I mean, this is crazy. Some of this stuff is twice the cost of what I paid for some stuff. So just a general comment.
Mr. Murmas?
Yeah, I mean, Alderman Messina and I exchanged some emails earlier today, and it's a good initiative if that's something the council's interested in moving forward on. We do try to obviously have a balancing act between, you know, lowest prices and going with local vendors. There's a balancing act. So I think that's an interesting topic for him and Brad to sit down together on and maybe work out that fine balancing act. That'd be great.
Any other question? Alderman Woods?
Yeah, on the same topic, this goes back to something I've talked about for 4 years with improving our systems and buying bigger quantities, guys not running to buy the same screws every day. So it's not only the cost of the screw, it's the time lost running to go get the screw or the nut, the bolt. I mean, we buy the same products over and over to shop for bulk, and again, as Alderman Messina said, shop for the price at the same time. Thank you.
Any other questions on the bills? Roll call.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes. We have no executive session. Need a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That was-
We're adjourned.